Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Capricorn enemies. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, people, the first thing I'll look at as far as Capricorn enemies go, well, the sign on the 7th house cusp represents our open adversaries or open enemies. And in a solar or natal chart, the zodiac sign Cancer will fall on that 7th house cusp. So somebody that is a Cancer, sun, moon, or ascendant can very well be an open adversary to Capricorn, or could simply be somebody that embodies Cancer-like characteristics. It could be people that are rather emotional, moody, temperamental, very changeable and fickle. Those that are very sensitive to criticism and ridicule. People that are very introverted, that are dominated by their home life, and people that are very contemplative. And also very nurturing. And the thing about it is, too, it could also be somebody that might be in a Cancer, zodiac sign Cancer-like profession, such as real estate developer, somebody that sells real estate, sells homes, a person that might perhaps do work on the home. It could be on homes such as somebody in siding or roofing, or just general repair work of the homes. It could be somebody in construction. Somebody that works in cooking or is a chef. I mean, those people could very well be open adversaries to Capricorn. And the thing about it too is a lot of the disparity, I think, with Cancer and Capricorn has to do on the emotional element. That Capricorn, it can often be, or at least come across as, rather callous, cold, or undemonstrative, while you have Cancer being the exact opposite in that, being more emotional, being more sensitive and sympathetic. And I mean, Capricorn is usually very consistent with its temperament, and of course Cancer can often be rather temperamental, moody, and fickle. And I could see in a lot of scenarios where you'd have a Capricorn working in a Capricorn-like profession, such as working as a landlord in a home, or an apartment complex or what have you, and Cancer, being as sensitive as they are, complaining about the Capricorn person not taking care of a repair in the home on time, and really complaining strongly about that. So I could see where there's a strong disparity with these two signs. Now, the other, as far as other enemies, well, Sagittarius often falls on the 12th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Capricorn. And the 12th house cusp represents hidden adversaries or hidden enemies. So this could be somebody that has a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or it could simply be somebody that embodies Sagittarius-like characteristics. It could be somebody people that are very jovial and jocular, philosophical, expansive, always upbeat and optimistic, sees the best in things. People that might be rather adventurous, explorers, and really people also that might be very blunt and tactless with what they say. Now, people sometimes will ponder, well, how does the sign on the 12th house cusp, how does that equate to one being a hidden enemy to someone? Well, one theory I have for this is the fact that is that the 12th house cusp can represent what we don't see in ourselves in many instances, really, or those qualities that might be suppressed, because it's often the sign that's going to fall before our ascendant sign. So those qualities are often the ones that we don't often see in ourselves, and I mean, they're hidden from ourselves. So really, I think a lot of times there could be a correlation between that and those hidden enemies. We have difficulty seeing them because we have difficulty seeing those qualities represented by the sign on the 12th house cusp in ourselves. So we don't often see those people that are either of that sign on the 12th house cusp or one that embodies those characteristics of that sign on the 12th house cusp, because we don't often see them in ourselves. So anyway, another thing could be too, I could see why Sagittarius can be a hidden enemy or adversary to Capricorn, because you think about it, Capricorn and Sagittarius, they're one sign apart, but they're very, one's very much the antithesis of the other in many ways. I mean, Capricorn, I mean, is really super conventional and orthodox. They could be very restricting in nature. And Sagittarius is very expansive. You have Capricorn also could be rather melancholy, rather despondent at times. And you have Sagittarius as a sign that's very expansive, upbeat, jocular, and jovial. So I could see why some of that energy could really bother Sagittarius people. And the thing is, especially like if you take a case, a scenario, for example, where you have, I mean, Capricorn is often in a position of authority. So let's say you have a Capricorn manager somewhere, even say like at a retail store or what have you. And Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person is a subordinate worker. Well, Capricorn, I mean, Sagittarius might become that hidden enemy or hidden adversary to Capricorn, because what Sagittarius is often, like I call, like the freebird syndrome. They're very, they like to, Sagittarius, their work ethic often isn't as strong as Capricorn. They're more of the freebird, so to speak. They're a little bit more of a meander and a roamer, and they really don't like others driving them or ordering them. And then Capricorn, of course, is one of the people that are ultimate in terms of being authoritative. So I can understand why that could happen. Now, keep in mind, people, that the enemies one could attract is simply not limited to the sign on the 7th house cusp and the sign on the 12th house cusp. It's also, I mean, signs that square Capricorn by sign. Now, Aries and Libra do square Capricorn by sign, and I see that I could understand Aries and Capricorn being in conflict, because Aries could be very pioneering, and you look at Capricorn, they could be very conservative and orthodox. You have Aries that could be very impulsive and impetuous, more spontaneous. Capricorn is very premeditative and will often not act until a lot of premeditation, and Capricorn also can be a lot more disciplined than Aries. Aries will often act without thinking, out of impulse, and Capricorn will think a little bit more before they take some course of action. So there's really, I could see why there could be, some conflict with these two. And Aries is one that could be a little bit bossy, and Capricorn as well. I mean, being the sign connected with authority, they are ones that could be authoritative. So that's a reason. Those are reasons why those two don't always mesh, and there could be something adversarial between those two because of that. Now, as far as Libra goes, Libra is of course square by sign to Capricorn, and Libra might see Capricorn as too serious and too businesslike for them. Libra likes to be fair and equitable, and Capricorn may often play by their own rules. Capricorn may often be dominated by their career life, their ambitions, and Libra is not so much. Libra is really more relationship oriented, and they're generally not as ambitious as Capricorn is. So anyway, well, also as an enemy, well, for Capricorn as an enemy, well, they might somehow try to hurt your business. And a good example is I have a Sun in Capricorn friend. One time he said to somebody, somebody that's in the same kind of field as he's in, he said, you know what, if you do such and such, I'm going to make sure that you don't sell such and such again to anybody in this area, or something to that effect. So Capricorn is that sign associated with the career. So it's only natural that if they're going to be an enemy or adversary, they might try to do something to damage your career. And also it's tied into reputation. Might be Capricorn may, if they're an adversary, they might try to ruin your reputation. It could be slanderous lies. And defamation of character. They may try to vilify you even publicly if it's going to somehow bring you down and make you lose maybe your credibility to some degree with others. Now, and I'm being facetious about this now, of course. If an enemy, well, hey, you know what? Do better in business than them. Do better in your career. Be more ambitious and be more successful. Be better at attaining your ambitions than they are. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Capricorn enemies. And stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about Aquarius enemies. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.